NBA Straya. How are you going? How you going? You're right. You should be. Why is that, Jim? Well, TGIF, am I right? That's right. It's Friday, June 13. Woo, spooky. And I'm your host, James Clements. This is NBA Straya here in Laurentiis studio. Just for a quick Game 4 of the NBA Finals preview show, which will be kind of fun. We've got some really good nars and stuff in there as well, but mostly today's show, Game 4 preview, going to go through all the little bits and bobs that we like about Game 4, what we think is going to happen, our best sort of looks, all that sort of fun stuff. Talk a little bit of Knicks, talk a little bit of KD. Got some great nars, as I mentioned, the unpopular opinion of the day and OUTBACK Takehouse. But mostly, we're just coming in to set you up for the weekend where we have Game 4, 10:30 a.m. Saturday. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Episode 1287 of NBA Straya. Oh, let's go!
This is Josh Giddey.
G'day, this is Andrew Gaze.
This is Jack White.
This is Joe Ingles.
This is Dyson Daniels.
This is Chris Anstey.
This is Matthew Delvedova.
This is Shane Hill.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening and watching NBA Straya.
This is NBA Australia. Let's do it.
Watch out for the shack attack.
You better watch out for the rehab attack on your old mate Jim. Jesus, I can barely move. Rehabbing this Achilles, this shoulder, it sucks. I mean, as a high-performing athlete, you know, these are the things you got to do to stay on the floor. No, I'm just some fat bastard who just keeps hurting himself, so it's horrible. Anyway, let's start today's show the way we start every show here at NBA Show with the Daily. Oh, it's a whipper out as a Jim. Of course. Not a giant amount of news really today because, I mean, this is just sort of, we're cruising through the creamy middle of the NBA Finals, and so far, it's been awesome. We don't have any sort of injury worries, touch wood, and away we go, right? We're kind of just cruising along. The biggest sort of dramas out there are basically Kevin Durant having access to a phone and just having a crack at every kid on the internet, which is just weird. What are you doing? Kevin, your name A is Kevin. You're an old person. Kevin is not a young person's name. Get off the fucking internet and stop picking fights with teenagers. And the other one, I mean, you've obviously got the Knicks still out there shooting their shot at every available coach. There's been no other sort of movement on that, but there was a big piece in The Athletic about how folks around the Knicks kind of saw the Tibbs stuff coming, at which point you're going to go, well, why didn't you fucking say something earlier, dickheads? You know, kind of vibe. Always a good one. I love a good post-mortem article about, oh, I knew this before it even happened. Look how smart I am. It's like, shut up, fuckwit. Just report it if you know shit. This fucking weird ball tickling of journos, I'll tell you what. Anyway, the other little bit, though, that popped out about Kevin Durant, speaking of the Knicks, is that obviously they would love to get him, is that apparently there's doubt out there about the veracity of any vibes of KD to the Spurs. Apparently they're just wanting to fucking draft Dylan Harper with the 2 pick, which is smart, and just staying young, which makes a horribly large amount of fucking sense when you look at our 2 NBA finalists, right? You got these 2 homegrown teams who have made a couple of little trades around the edges, but mostly it's like internal development and a youth movement that have gotten the Pacers and the Thunder here. I mean, the Pacers, they swing these little like around the edges trades for like Naismith and the picks that become Nembhard and Shepherd. They obviously get Toppin for a bag of chips. The one big move they made was obviously getting Haliburton in the first place for the Souvlaki King, Domantas Sabonis, as they were kind of resetting the entire franchise, and then going and getting Siakam in a bit of a, hey, the East is really fucking weak. We could have a bit of a crack here move. So smart there. And OKC, obviously, the Paul George trade for them netted them SGA and a bunch of these draft picks. But it's like the growth of J-Dub, the growth of Chet, the little bit of a, you know, again, the ancillary trade for going and getting Alex Caruso in exchange for Josh Giddey, a very high draft pick, don't forget. Like, these are the teams that are just like, right, it's not a 3-star system on our team. It's a bunch of fucking dudes pulling all together in the right direction. We're a fucking team. And it's awesome. And the Spurs would probably be pretty smart to do that, as opposed to going and trading for a bloke who's never fucking happy and spends most of his time on the internet yelling at strangers. I just don't know if that's a great idea. Anyway, San Antonio, they probably know better than me, so off you go. Right. The other little bit was Dorian Finney-Smith. He had ankle surgery. He should be right for training camp, same as Jaylen Brown with his knee. Still not great when you're getting bits shaved off your knee, if you ask me, when it comes to Jaylen Brown, but here we are. Right. Should we do it? NBA Straya's Game 4 preview of the NBA Finals. What a finals it's been so far. I haven't taken too many of the old victory laps about me sitting here going, I reckon Indy can win this 4-2, let's go. Because A, they haven't won it 4-2 yet. And B, mostly I was picking it because I watched that dog knock basketballs into the baskets and then end up with the Pacers 4-2. Speaking of being on the internet. But otherwise, no. I fucking love Indy, and I think they were just so underrated going into this finals when everyone's like, oh, yeah. OKC, so much better. 4-1. Lock it away. 4-1. OKC, fuck off. All the Pacers did was overcome every and any single fucking doubt en route to this point, and then game 1 happens. And everyone goes, oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. OKC will probably still win it in 5. They'll steamroll them just like the Lakers did to the Sixers back in 2000. It's like, all right, let's see it happen. And, of course, Indy win Game 3. So here we are, 2-1. The Pacers hosting Game 4 tomorrow morning. Indy are 7-2 at home this postseason so far. 6-3 against the line, which is pretty interesting if you ask me. And the flip side of that, obviously, is OKC's struggles on the road, comparative struggles, right, on the road, these playoffs, where they're 4-4 on the road in the playoffs, which is pretty crazy because they're unreal and just a fucking juggernaut, 68-win team, right? They are, however, 0-8 against the line, which is quite ridiculous at this point, right? The tricky part is OKC is 5-0 coming off a loss in these playoffs. They haven't lost 2 games in a row. They're 5-0 coming off a loss. That's really, really good because this team is really, really, really good. They beat Indy by 16 in Game 2 after they lose Game 1. They win Game 6 against Minnesota by 2 and then win... Game 5. Sorry. Was it Game 4? No, Game 4 by 2. What am I talking about? Game 4 by 2 against Minnesota, then 30 to close them out. They win Game 7 against Denver by 32. They won Game 4 against Denver by 5. And they won Game 2 against Denver after a loss by 43. So there's a little bit of a thing there where 3 of those 5 wins after a loss have been by 16 or more and like absolute shit pumpings. So just keep that in mind. And there was also, as I said, that Minnesota series where they have the closeout game where they fucking killed them by 30, right? So OKC, if they lose, they tend to it's either like that 5-point win against Denver in Game 4 or the 2-point win against Minnesota in Game 4. That's a bit of a Game 4 corollary. Just saying. Pretty interesting. Pretty bloody interesting. So where does that sort of leave us for this one? Well, the Pacers are pretty big underdogs again at home, right? They're 6.5-point underdogs going into this game, which again feels a bit weird and a bit squirrely. So I kind of want to still go the Pacers, right? I feel like other folks out there might not agree, but OKC, I think there's a couple of ways that they can win this. And if you sort of look at their, their sort of doppelganger team, that sort of people didn't realize it was juggernaut in waiting until it was already here. It was the 2015 Warriors, right? They were taking on, as we broke down the other day in the 10th Delhi Day, the Deliversary of Game 3, where Matthew Dellavedova put himself in hospital. The 2015 Warriors go down 2-1 to both the Grizzlies in the second round. I was there at Game 4, where the Warriors fucking killed Memphis. It's pretty cool that I was there they were down 2-1. All those Grizzly fans were fucking flying, and the Warriors fully Kali Ma'd them and tore their fucking heart out. And then they obviously go down 2-1 to the Cavs. Without Kyrie, without Kevin Love. It's basically just LeBron, Delly, Mozgov, Aman Shumpert, and a cast of thousands. But the 2015 Warriors, right? They showed that resilience a couple of times. We've already seen a bit of this resilience from this Thunder team as well against Denver. Popping off, getting into an absolute teat with them, and then coming back and winning in 7. And I kind of think we might be at that sort of inflection point again with OKC. It is amazing to me that after each and every, well, it's not amazing because it's pretty fucking like obvious as to why it happens, but after every single game in these playoffs, the reaction has just been so far to go back to, oh, what did I just see? That's the thing that will keep on happening. That's not how it fucking works. The thing that just happened has happened. It might not have any bearing whatsoever on what's about to happen. You know what I'm saying? So you think about the Thunder and the way that they've responded to challenges so far in these playoffs, I kind of think they can win a really, really tight one. But, right, so they're 5-0 coming off a loss in the playoffs. SGA, and these are my playoff vibes for this Game 4, right? SGA has averaged 33 points. 33 points. I think it's 33.4 to be exact in those 5 games. You know, they've sort of bounced back. They've had the loss. He's responded in a hell of a way. So I love his over 33.5 points. His assist numbers. So what they sort of did, and I was on this one for Game 3, we were on his under. It's still, I think, the assist numbers for SGA, I think he'll be looking for his shot a little bit more in Game 4. The assist numbers, I think it's like an over of 7.5 or so. I'd probably steer clear. I'd probably just go, right, 4 plus for SGA's assist numbers. But his rebounds, I think he'll go over there as well. And I think he'll go over with his threes. I think this is a big SGA moment where he goes, I'm going to kind of do a little bit of everything. We've seen him do it before, where he's getting more rebounds than you think. He's hit a couple of threes. He's feeling pretty good from offense, on offense, and he's getting to the line. He's sort of creating maybe a little bit more for himself, maybe than for other people, but that's what J-Dub's there for as well. I think you'll have solid assist numbers, but it wouldn't surprise me if this game is like a 34-5-5 for SGA with a couple of threes in there too. I think this is a massive moment. You're the MVP, right? You're the MVP, Shay. It's really nice to talk about Coroporks. These Canadians are so nice. Sometimes you're just going to go, cool, going to rip your heart out now. We are going back to the Kali Ma well. Kali Ma! Grab the heart out, rip it out, SGA. I think he's got that in him. So let's see what happens. So I reckon a 34-5-5 from SGA. J-Dub for this game. Jalen Williams, he's gone 4 straight games only making 1 3, right? So I think he went 6 of 9. Nice. In Game 4 against the Wolves. And since then, he's gone 4 of 15 from 3. So I feel like he's going to go... he's taking enough shots that he should probably hit 2 threes in this game. So I think that's what I like from J-Dub in this game. Over 1.5 threes. 5 plus assists as well, because look, he's had 5 or more assists in 15 of his 18 playoff games. Not bad. Good size. 5 rebounds as well. He's sort of just contributing across the board. I'm not sure about his total scoring numbers though. Remember, it's kind of like, we called him J-Dub because every second game he's kind of a bit iffy. Just a little bit squirrely. He was super fucking solid on offense in Game 3. I feel like it might just put a little bit of a tamper on his total points in Game 4, but I expect him to be a really good contributor across the board around that sort of, 13 to 15 point mark, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, and 2 threes. I think the big one for OKC is Chet. He goes 0 of 6 from deep in Game 3. 0 of 6. As I said on yesterday's show, you're 7'40", pal. What the how are you getting your threes blocked? Are they in the International Space Station and fucking blocking your shot? Jesus! Anyway, bounce back. So 15 points, 6 rebounds, and a couple of blocks, I reckon, for Chet. Over 1-3 as well. Basically, the way he came out in game 3 in that first quarter was absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. It got OKC rolling. The big problem was they sort of just fell apart in the second quarter, and it just went a bit fucking sideways, and they couldn't quite get into a groove on offense. So they're essentially a lot of the rest of the game. It was a lot of back and forth. The turnovers really fucking hurt them. I think Chet's a really good look to have a good bounce back game here. Dort, look, his point, rebounds, assists, we smashed that in the last game. It was like 12.5. I think it's gone back up. So we might just stick at his 2+ threes. That's all he does, right? He should probably hit him. I think he will. Caruso, 2+ threes as well. You could probably throw him in for a couple of steals. And Hartenstein. So a lot of my point here for OKC is if Chet's going to have a decent game, I think they figure out ways to use Hartenstein better than they did in game 3. He had a bit of an odd game, right? It was just a game where he had one absolutely thunderous dunk, but on defense, they sort of put him in sort of weird positions. He still played his 18 minutes. He only had the 4 and 3. He had a couple of turnovers, a couple of fouls. I think he sort of gets back to that 6.6 rebound status, and I think they just use him a little bit better. Because I think they're going to look at this, and the adjustments that you'll see in game 4 for OKC will be like, hang on a second. We're either going to play with no centers, because we just want to keep this speediness up here for a second while Chet sits, and we'll see what we can do on the perimeter. You know, are they going to hurt us with Obi Toppin and Siakam? We'll force you to play Thomas, not Kobe Bryant. Blow us. Come on. We're going to go small. We might see a bit of that. Alternately, we might just see more Hartenstein, more Chet, and then just trying to like force feed them. I kind of don't mind the big fellas. So there we go. Remember how they won game 2? Big fellas. So Hartenstein, don't mind this. The rest of it, as I sort of allude to all the time when it comes to OKC, it's the wheel of fortune of death with whichever role player actually pop off. Wiggins had a shit game 3. He had an awesome game 2. He could easily pop back and hit a couple of threes in this game. Caruso, as I mentioned already, a couple of threes from him. Isaiah Joe came on and smoked a couple. Cason Wallace has been a very up and down sort of proposition. Kenrick Williams came in, launched a shot, got fucking pulled. It was pretty funny. So maybe look to Wiggins, but either way, I'm going to stick with those main dudes that I've talked about. For Indy, at home, game 4, you got a chance to go up 3-1 in the finals if you can win this game. So, we've hit on this time and time again. Tyrese Haliburton. Magic Johnson's out there going, I think he needs to score more. It's like, does he? Magic, of all people, I feel like you should understand that you don't need to score to impact a basketball game. Magic's off his fucking head. It's too much Mediterranean sun. His tweets make a lot more sense now when you hear him say shit like that, right? Anyway, Haliburton, I think scoring he either has to play a fucking perfect game, and so I feel like there's 2 ways we go for Haliburton in this game. He either goes really big and he's 30+ points, or he's around that sort of 14-point mark that we've seen prior in this series, because I feel like OKC might even throw more at him defensively and force the ball out of his hands a little bit earlier, a little bit quicker, maybe some, less looks from 3. But I still feel like the 8.5 assists and the 5.5 rebounds is very much on the cards for Tyrese Haliburton. Same with these points. I still feel like around that 14-15 mark is very, very doable. If you love Haliburton, I'm not going to hold that against you as well. He could easily go for 30. You think about that awesome, incredible game 4 that he had against the Knicks, 35-15, just, 34-15, whatever it was, 0 turnovers. It's going to be really fucking hard to do that against the OKC defense, but I think the 8.5 assists, the 5.5 rebounds, a triple-double could very easily be on the cards, I think. He just missed it last game by 1 rebound, which was brutal. But I think we'll see a Haliburton who's just like, okay, cool. I was really aggressive offensively in game 3. I think OKC just try to sort of figure out how to make his life hell in game 4. So just keep an eye on that. Siakam, look, he's gone 2 of 3 for his 30+ points, rebounds, assists so far in the series. I think he's probably good again. They go to him early. His rebound numbers have been really good. I gave him out at the start of the series as your leading rebounder. Just saying. I hope you're on that one. He's been really, really good on the boards. And I feel like Siakam is like the sort of dude where he does have these like weird sort of squirrely games where it just sort of drops off a cliff a little bit, but he could also just be the dude where they go, God, nothing else is working. Haliburton's a bit quiet. You turn around, Siakam's got 23 points pretty quickly. He's got 9 rebounds, and away we go. So 30.5 points, rebounds, assists for Siakam. Outside of that, do we get a Miles Turner bounce back game? He shot like absolute dog shit. He went and shot the magic number in game 3. It was awesome because I got to play the 3-11 drop. But does he actually hit some shots in this game? Probably. He's at home. Let's go, Miles Turner. A couple of threes in there, 10 plus points, 2 plus blocks for Miles Turner. Obi Toppin, we were on his threes last game. I think he actually fucking hit some this time because he went, he hit 5 of 8 in the first one. And look, he's gone like maybe 1 of 8, 2 of 8 since. I think he's going to get plenty of playing time. Like, that's the key thing with Obi Toppin. He's going to shoot if he's out there. And they're playing him a fuck ton because OKC aren't punishing him when he's out there. They're not going the double bigs. They're not using that size advantage that they may or may not have. Obi Toppin's going to play a lot. I don't mind his 2 plus threes. You could probably still go his 10 plus points and 6 plus rebounds as well if you want to have a look at that. But Obi Toppin, 2 plus threes. Love it. Naismith. He and Nembhard both had pretty depressed games in game 3 because of the foul trouble. Naismith, 2 plus threes as well. He fucking just loves launching him. He hit 1 late. Didn't get to the second one. But I sort of feel like Toppin and Naismith, if they hit a couple of threes, Indy are going to be absolutely up and about. And I think it's going to come down to a lot of the simple idea of like Haliburton going, oh God, I got to find my dudes because I can't score. This is a rough one, I'll tell you. And I feel like that's how we're going to sort of see this game script go. So Naismith, a couple of threes, maybe 10 plus points for Naismith, 6 plus rebounds. He's been great. Randomly, he'll just have these massive rebounding games. So even 10 plus, if you want to go really saucy. Super zesty. 10, 4, and 4 with the steal for Nembhard. That's his baseline, it feels like. He didn't hit the 10 points last game. But you also feel like the foul trouble really, really limited he and Naismith and their output with their aggressiveness too. So I think Nembhard's good. TJ McConnell, he's over for the points of 6.5. I think he gets enough playing time to sort of get over that as well. 10 plus points for Indy Delhi. It's not game 3, it's game 4. Can he get there? Maybe. But either way, 6.5 is feeling pretty good. So obviously the keys for all of this is that the likes of Nembhard, Naismith, Obi Toppin, your sort of role players, I guess, for the Pacers. Role players play better at home. Ring-a-ding-ding-ding-ding. Oh, duh. The one I've not mentioned is Benny Mathurin. It's because it's really, really, really hard to trust Benny Mathurin because he has these incredible games where he just pops off, goes randomly ham. 27 in, 22 minutes in game 3. He had 14 in 22 minutes in game 2. He had 5 points in 16 minutes in game 1. He had the 2 games against the Knicks where he had 20 and 23. Those are in games 4 and 5. Outside of that, he didn't crack double digits. It's really hard to trust Benny Mathurin to pop off, like with any sort of consistency. He had 19 and 23 against the Cavs in games 2 and 3. Other than that, he had 11, 0, and 4. Right? So I think we'll just sort of steer clear of Benny Mathurin. It's just really tough. But if you believe in Benny Mathurin, 20 plus again, why the hell not? So how does this all work? There's your role players. OKC, I think it's a lot of SGA. It's a bit of Chet. And I think it's their shooting. If they can keep up the 3-point shooting, because the key to this game is, I mean, they shot better from Indy in game 3 from downtown, did the Thunder, and they fucking lost. It feels like they could easily regress back to their sort of kind of shitty 3-point shooting selves. And you suddenly just go, wow, this is going to get pretty bloody hard. Right? But if SJ sort of steps up, J-Dub hits a couple, and they feel a little bit better about themselves, OKC could very easily win this one. Indy, they just need to control their turnovers again. They win the turnover battle in game 3, which was very, very good. The problem is, like, the points off the turnovers, OKC didn't really punish them in games 1 and 2. And the weird thing in game 3 was OKC would turn it over and you're like, aha, it's another turnover. And Indy would almost turn it over straight away, right back. It happened on 5 different occasions in that second half. You're like, you just took the ball. Don't give it back to them. What are you, Indy? They could have won that game by double digits, but no. They kept giving the ball back to OKC. But OKC's offense does look a lot more mortal if you just don't fucking keep giving them the ball with turnovers, right? It gets a lot fucking harder when you're out there going, we're going to create a shot against a set defense. Indy's like, have at it. It's a bit harder this time, isn't it? Fuckos. As opposed to when we just give you the ball and you're off and running. So whoever wins this game will probably be the team that wins the turnover battle. If OKC can shoot better from three than Indy, they'll fucking love that. And it's going to come down to the likes of Wiggins hitting a couple. It'll be Isaiah Joe hitting a couple. It'll be Caruso. It'll be Jedi. It'll be Chet. They can probably do that. But look, I think where we've sort of landed with this game 4, of the 5 games that they've won after a loss, 2 of them have been really fucking close for Indy, right? For OKC. It's been 5 points, 7 points. Indy being 6.5 point underdogs, I feel like, I'm just saying, the first pick is Indy plus 6.5. Because Indy can win that game. We know they can win this game. They won game 3. They controlled game 3. The key to that game was controlling the pace. They could very well easily do this again and go at 3-1. If their role players start hitting a million threes, like they've done already in the postseason, we could be standing here just going, what the fuck just happened? Indy are up 3-1 in the NBA Finals. They've hit 18 threes in this game. Holy shit. So Indy plus 6.5. That was my pick yesterday. It's my pick today. It'll be my pick tomorrow morning. The other hedge, however, is if you just go, well, what did Jim say about the other 3 games of the 5 that they won after a loss? They fucking shit pumped the team, right? They've already done it to Indy. They lose game 1. They fucking straight killed them in game 2, right?
So he got straight killed.
To the tune of 16 points. And that's the lowest, right? So the other ones are like, 30 and 40 and stuff. OKC minus 15.5 is my other little bit of a hedge that I'm just saying. If you like OKC, it's probably not a bad idea to go big for OKC as well. I just don't like OKC minus 6.5 because Indy could easily just keep this game close. Even if they lose, OKC could eke out a win. Indy could just flat out win it. So 3 of those sort of 4 outcomes, I'm still taking Indy plus 6.5. And the other one is OKC running away with it. So I think that's the pick for game 4. It's a lot of different angles. It's very, very fun. The over-under has actually dropped a little bit as well, which makes sense. I think it's around 225 points. We did smash the team total over for Indy last game, so that was a win. Overall, they didn't hit the over because OKC didn't hold up their end of the bargain. So I think so far it's 1 and 2 for the over-unders. So we've gone 1 over, 2 under. And the last 7 NBA Finals game 4s have gone under the points total because it's nut crunch time, right? It's just like, oh God, are we going to score? And I feel like you might see a little bit of a depressed actual full-blown points total. Probably very similar to what we saw in game 3, where there's a bit of flow, but there's also, not as many, like Haliburton hasn't shot a free throw in this series, which is fucking crazy. But when you get to this point, it's like, 116, 107. It feels about right again. So yeah, this total dropping in at like 225. Whoa. I feel like it could still go over. These 2 teams are just fucking loaded. Yeah, we might go the over. Screw it. Screw the fact that the last 7 game 4s have gone under. Blow it out your ass, the final 7 game 4s. So with Indy up 2-1, I think we go Indy plus 6.5 because I think OKC could win an absolute squeaker. I think we'll go the over and a little bit of a hedge, OKC minus 15.5 as well, if you think they can blow them out. Just saying. All right, let's take a quick break, come back with some yeah-nahs right after. Oh, and before we do that, remember, you can follow all of those picks that we just made over at Dabble. Use the code NBA Straya. You can sign up using the link in our show description. And of course, that's in the link in our bio as well across all of our socials. Jump on there, bang in the code NBA Straya. Use that link though. Let them know that Jim sent you, and away we go. Got to keep this pirate ship afloat somehow. Be much appreciated if that's what you like and that's what you're into. If not, it's all good. Appreciate you either way. Right, let's take a quick break. Come back with some yeah-nahs right after this.
This is Cam Glidden.
This is Anthony Drimmick.
This is Mitch McCarron.
This is Jason Kadee.
This is Darryl McDonald.
Hey guys, this is Hugh Greenwood.
Yo, what's going on? This is Illy.
This is Mark Worthington, or commonly known as Wortho, and you're listening to NBA Straya.
You listen to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA
And you're listening to
Straya.
NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
All right, let's do some Yanars brought to you by you. That's right, you can help support the show. You can buy us a coffee, shout us a beer, jump on the link in our bio as well. It's across all the socials. Take you there. You can actually sign up for a membership where we do have an exclusive, unique show that will go out each month just for those members, the Dead Set Legends Club. Go sign up there if you want to check it out. Or you can just shout us a beer, shout us a coffee. Appreciate your guts either way. Right, Matty O. Hey, Jim, happy Friday. Oh, cheers, Matty. Here's to some beers. I'll tell you what, I hate to be a tin in about 45 minutes. With Indy up 2-1, is Rick Carlisle out-coaching Mark Dagenham? Yeah, nah, yes! Fuck yes. I mean, to a degree where it's like, okay, making OKC look flustered is really fucking hard. But that's how good Rick Carlisle is coaching at the moment. And you think about it, considering that this dude has already coached the 2011 Mavs to a title through an absolute fucking juggernaut of a West, where he's beaten the Rusty and KD, OKC, he's beaten the Spurs, he's beaten the Lakers, all this sort of stuff. And then this time he's run through everybody in the East, a 64-win Cavs team, a Knicks team that's up and about. The thing is, Rick Carlisle is like, let's just hang on to Benny Mathurin for a second. We'll let him loose in the second quarter. Gooses the offense. They win their first half of the NBA Finals because he's like, I'll just wait. And then in the fourth quarter, he's just like, we'll just hold here. We'll let Turner, he's doing all right. Oh, bang. Turner makes some incredible defensive plays down the stretch. Siakam comes back on eventually, has a couple of buckets that are just fucking huge. And you're like, aha. Pulling the strings at the exact right moment is a skill and it is a talent. And Rick Carlisle has it in spades, right? Dagenham has been a little bit more, oh God, I hope this works this time. You know, the Kenrick Williams moment, 10 minutes of Aaron Wiggins. Just these little moments where you're like, we sure we need Case and Wallace back on here. Oh God. Even just changing the starting lineup before a fucking ball had been bounced was a bit weird to me. But I think Carlisle's rotations have been absolutely on point. I think the Thunder have just been that little bit more reactive rather than active. And yeah, I think Rick Carlisle is out-coaching him at the moment. Would this Thunder team be the biggest failure in NBA history if they do not win the title? Yeah, nah. Because that's always going to be the 2016 Warriors, right? A 73-win team that blows a 3-1 lead in the finals. This Thunder team won 68 games. That's cool. Yes, they had the highest net rating, but that's cool. You beat up on a bunch of shit teams. Awesome. Better than the 96-98 Bulls, the 17 Warriors, all that sort of shit. The thing is, teams that have won like 80-plus games across playoffs and the regular season, it's the fucking 2016 Warriors and then it's everybody else, because that 2016 Warriors team won 88 games and lost the NBA Finals. Everybody else, the 96 Bulls had 87 wins. The 97 Bulls had 84. The 87 Warriors, the 15 Warriors, the 13 Heat, the 8 Celtics, the 2000 Lakers, the 92 Bulls, the 86 Celtics, they all won the finals. They all won over 80 games. They all won the finals. The 2009 Lakers, the 72 Lakers, the 24 Celtics, the 87 Lakers, all over 80 wins across the regular season and the playoffs. They all won the finals. This Thunder team is currently on 81 wins. They are down 2-1 in the finals. So it would be the second biggest disappointment in NBA history, basically, if they don't win. The thing is, it's only 2-1. We've seen teams come back from 2-1 a million times. OKC could easily get this back on even terms. And as I said before, right, We are so reactive after every single game in these playoffs, in these finals. Whereas, oh my God, the sky is falling. OKC is probably like, we're really fucking good. Yes, the OKC offense can look a bit fucky every so often. They'll probably turn around and kick the fuck out of him in game 4. Just saying. What else do we have? We had, is Magic Johnson right? His definition of a superstar is a person who can go on the road and sell the building out. Yeah, nah. Actually, that's a really fucking good way of describing it. I love that. Thanks, Magic. What do we say? We say, thanks, Magic. LeBron, Steph, KD, Jokic, Luka, Ant-Man, Giannis, SGA. Would have been Zion. Maybe would have been Ja once. Embiid before he got hurt. Dame definitely used to be. Harden used to be maybe. But even Embiid and Harden, like you weren't just going, geez, I've got to see them fall over a lot and fucking bitch and moan at the refs. Paolo was on his way. I would say, yeah, the Rockets don't really have a superstar. Wemby is definitely like, oh, fuck, I've just got to see that dude in person kind of shit. Cooper Flag will probably be like that as well. But yeah, it's a really good way of saying it, right? As a person who can go on the road and sell the building out. That's a superstar. I like that. All right, let's finish up with an unpopular opinion of the day.
Now look at me, please. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
Indy in 6. I still feel pretty good about that. Just saying. Called it. Everyone was taking OKC in 5. Just, I don't know. But I still like the idea in 6 games because, seriously, OKC could still win this in 6. Just saying. But I love this Outback Takehouse. This is absolutely a ripper. Let's get into it. It's Friday at Outback. You know what that means? Oh, yeah. 4-for-1 oil drum cans full of icy cold Foster's Lager. It's Aussie for beer. And it doesn't actually taste that fucking shithouse. We've just had a few over there. Don't worry about it. She's right as. And it's only at Outback. Goes great with this flame grilled take. And the flame grilled take today is... There is one amazing thing that the New York Knickerbockers of New York City can do to go get a head coach. The Knicks need to go full Ted Lasso and hire our man, Ange Postecoglou. Oh, yes, you gotta go get Ange. All he does is win. I don't care that he's a fucking soccer coach. Go get it done, Knicks. Sort it the fuck out. Only at Outback. This was a great one sent in by Paul Arnie. He's like, hey, legend, the Knicks are nicking to the absolute elite level of nicking. Yeah, nah. Yes, they are. But they could absolutely get out this and they do a real-life Ted Lasso and appoint Ange. I love this. I love the soccer comparison. Go get Jose Mourinho. Like, let's fucking go, man. Sir Alex Ferguson. Let's just, what are you doing, Fergie? He's like, how about you go full, like, American football? You could even go get Nick Saban. I kind of fucking love the idea. You know? Go get, I don't know, Bill Belichick. He's in now North Carolina. Who fucking cares about, like, the UNC football program? Go get Belichick to coach the Knicks. That would be amazing. Alexi Lalas? No. Michael Voss? No. Alistair Clarkson? Look at Wayne Bennett is like, me. Shut up, Wayne. How about, though, and this is Paul Arnie's idea, they give all their players a cup of concrete and appoint an old school EuroLeague coach who swears at and hits them. And they appoint Brian Goorjian as your new New York Knickerbockers coach of New York City. He's going over there to assist. I love it. That's some great stuff by Paul. Appreciate it. All right. And that'll do us for today as well, I reckon, because I've got to go get the squids, and that's game 4 all set up for you. So remember, you can go follow all the vibes, all the picks over at Dabble. Use that code NBA Straya. Tell them Jim sent you. The link is in our show description, in our link in bio as well. Smash that. Get right around it. Help your mate Jim out. Got to keep this pirate ship afloat. Either way, we'll pop off with a video tomorrow morning as well, which would be pretty fun. But I'm pretty sure we're still going Indy plus 6.5 with a little bit of a look at OKC minus 15.5 if you're actually feeling a bit OKC. Those are your picks. And we've got a whole bunch of same gamers up there as of a little bit later today. So make sure you're following NBA Straya on Twitter, Facey, IG, TikTok, and YouTube. Jump in the comments. Send through any nars. We're going to do a show on the weekend as well to wrap up Game 4, so we'll probably jump on here tomorrow afternoon, do a wrap-up after the game, just so you've got some more, because we don't have another game until next Tuesday, so we'll probably do one tomorrow afternoon, then do a quick one on Monday. So rate, review the show on Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, Spotify, however you're listening to the show on your whatever podcast app you've got. Rate, review, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff would be much appreciated. Big thanks always go to From Oslo for the intro and outro song. They rule. So do Househats, Joshua de Laurentiis, Fascinated Gold Mines, Ramshackle Army, Iowa, Sex, Jedi, Green, and Dozers. They're behind all the tunes you hear throughout the show. Smash them all on Bandcamp, Apple Music, Spotify, NBA Straya, Sports Australian Bands. So should you. And that's it. We will catch you tomorrow before the game and then after the game with the video before, and then, of course, the actual full-blown show afterwards. So there we go. All right, that's it. Have a great weekend, you dickheads. We'll catch you tomorrow. This is NBA Straya saying, look after yourselves, would ya? And later, hose on. Go, Pacers. G'day, legends. Your mate Jim from NBA Straya here. That's right, I'm doing a thing at the end of the show. In the business, we call it a thing at the end of the show, I guess. I don't know. Either way, all I'm just saying is just make sure you're rating, reviewing, starring, subscribing across all of the apps that you use for NBA Straya. Jump in the comments, give us a shout. We'll bang you in, yeah, nahs. Any other questions? I'll have a crack. I've got nothing better to do, basically. Also, just ask any questions, tell me what you want to hear from the show, and sing out and let us know. And of course, if you want to help support the show, jump on the old dabble, use that code NBA Straya, click on the link that's in the show description or on the socials. It goes up whenever I do the morning vibes, etc. So if that's your thing, jump on there, use that code NBA Straya, and remember, look after yourselves, would you?